What's up, guys? Welcome to AC Designs Garage. Have you ever wondered how to weld this super thin sheet metal to thick metal? Well, in this video here, I'm going to show you my heat settings and techniques, how I do this without making a whole big old jumbled up mess out of it. So you guys can use this technique too. So make sure you stay tuned, drop your shield, get ready to arc and spark. Alright guys, a little quick intro of what we're using for the video. This is 22 gauge, mild steel sheet metal, just pretty thin stuff. I dropped the MMs down here. I do Imperial, so I don't really know the MM metric system stuff, but I'll drop it down here for you guys. This is a 1/4 inch, 2 inch flat bar. So basically we're going to give you a situation to where if you had to weld this and this for some reason, you may run across it on a car floor pan. Maybe not this drastic of a thickness change, but if you can do the 22 gauge to the 1/4 inch, you can do about anything. You could run into this on a lot of different applications, you know, lawnmowers or car floor pans or stuff like that. So once you learn these two principles, because basically what we're trying to achieve here is we're trying to get it hot enough to burn into this without melting away a bunch of mess, and hot enough to burn into this to really dig down into the material, so this will be bonded really good. Let's go over here and I'll show you the welder I'm using. I'm using my old school Miller-Matic 185. All right, let's get down to our sets, and mine's gonna be a little different. A lot of these newer machines shows the voltage and stuff on there. Mine's got just a 1, 2, 3, just like an indicator to set up. You can see right here. But it does have the little cheat sheet under here. That's what we're going to go off of. If your machine don't have one of these, you can go online and find something and get it, you know, halfway close. I'm running 023 wire is what I'm running. I always run because I do more sheet metal type work with this, and you can go up to around 1/4, 3/16, and here it gives your settings on it on what you need to do. See, this is your voltage tap. So that'll be your, on 3/16 it would be 4 and your wire speed on 90 if you was doing 3/16 to 3/16. The thing we're running into is we're running 023, 22 gauge is calling for 1. Well, 1 ain't gonna do nothing but lay up on top of some 3/16. It's just gonna, you know, just look like mess. So we're gonna start with 2 and 70. So that, what you're trying to do with this thick and thin is you're trying to find a happy medium between. So the 3 and 4 is going to be way too hot for the 22, and the 2 will be a little warm for it, but I'm going to show you where you place your heat. That's another thing. Where you place your heat on your material, you don't want to put it all on the 22 because it'll just disappear. It'll just turn into a blob and fall on the floor and get down your boot, and you'll do a dance and run around and all that stuff. I'm going to cut on my bottle. I always never stand in front of the valve, barely crack it open because you can mess these up. I'm running 20, right there about 21, 22 CFH. I usually run anywhere from 18 to 25 or so. Just depend. A lot of times depending on if I have a fan blowing, because it blows your shielding gas, and basically what that shielding gas does while your wire's hot and your weld's hot and stuff, it shields it and gives it a perfect atmosphere so you don't get porosity and all that mess into it. So if you got a fan blowing, try not to blow a fan near where you're welding, because if it blows this gas off, you'll have another mess on your hands. As for the wire we talked about earlier, I'm running 023 wire. It's ER70S-6 is normally what I run. You can go up, if you got 030, that's fine. And I got some flux core. I'm just not a flux core guy. I like my shielded gas stuff. But I got some flux core, and one of these days I'm going to talk myself into doing a how to do sheet metal with flux core. I personally, this is me talking, I'd suggest if you're going to do much sheet metal work, I'd go ahead and upgrade to the bottle. Now, thicker stuff, flux core is okay. I just don't like it, so that's just my little opinion. All right, let's get over here and get the machine set up. We got our 2 on our heat. Drop her back to 70 on our wire feed speed, and if it's burning 2, this 2 should be pretty good setting. Like I said, do some practice pieces before you do anything that's important, because you can throw practice pieces away. You don't want to mess your project up. But I'm gonna start on the 70, and if I notice, I like that 2 heat range, but if I notice it's starting to burn away too much, we'll bump up the wire feed and shove a little more wire in there, and sometimes it helps it cool the puddle off just a little bit. All right, right now we're gonna get our stuff set up real quick. I just cut that little piece up into a little manageable sizes, and we'll just do us a butt joint and a lap joint. So this here, the butt joints are always gonna be your hardest ones, and your gap makes all the difference in the world, especially on the super thin stuff. So you want to get whatever you're doing the best fit you can, because if you've got a gap here, it's just gonna make everything go downhill quick. So we're gonna do a butt joint. I'll butt this up to it. What you're gonna want to do is concentrate most of your weld. Say if this is dead center, like this, you're gonna want about 3/4 of it to this side. Because when you strike that arc, it's gonna flow over onto this. You never want to start on this super thin stuff. You never want to start your arc right dead middle. You can always sit over here and start your arc and burn it over. And this is going to be more of a spot weld process. I'm going to get this thing tacked real quick. And I'm going to do one tack without the arc shot. And then I'm going to set another arc shot up so you can kind of see what I'm talking about with it washing over. So here we go. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to start here and I'm just going to wash over to it. I think that setting right there is going to be good enough. So let me get you set up real quick. All right, guys, here we got the arc shot on the tack. All right, guys, that was the one we just done. If you look, I held it just a little too long, and you can already see right there where it burnt out around the corners. So got to be mindful of that. Trying to hold the arc just a little longer so you guys could see. It's hard to see when you just go zap and really tell. I wanted you to see it, but now I'm gonna do a dividing line. So I'm gonna just do the zap, 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 zap type stuff. I'm gonna show you through the arc shot so you can see it the best. Let's do the little stitch weld, tack welds, whatever you'll call them things. All right, we're just gonna do a bunch of short little tacks and overlap them 50%. Here's what we've done. It looks pretty good. You can already see even doing that. If we was doing this on a floor pan, we'd have slowed down a little bit more and, you know, let it cool. When I start my arc, I'm actually pointing about right here. And when you pull that trigger, it'll wash over by itself. And I'm just basically aiming it right here, and it washes over, because if you start here, she's just gonna blow through. So as you can see, even on this one, I pointed it right here and it washed over. But that's how I'm doing it. I'm staying on the thicker. This is the 1/4 inch stuff, so just over maybe not even maybe a 1/16 of an inch. And if it's not washing over fast enough, you can hold it longer and it will follow over there. But you can pull the trigger as soon as it starts, just kind of wash it and stop like that. We may try that one. I'm wanting to give you a bunch of different examples, so maybe you can do that. But I'm gonna just hold the camera right here and do it, and we'll see what we can do. It's gonna be a little bright, but we'll see. Well, as you can see, the temperature started coming up with it, and yeah, it blowed a hole. That's what you're gonna have to deal with, but yeah. That'll work too. You just really try out what you guys need, or what works best for you guys. And we got some pin old Trayshawn on that too. Yeah, she's starting to pringle all up, boy. She plumb ruffle tater chip now. All right, that's the butt one. That's the one that's a little bit harder. I'm gonna bend this down and now we're gonna do the lap one. The lap one's a little bit easier, I think. All right, what we're gonna do now is lap weld it, and gonna be the same thing. You're gonna want to start over here, even though you can't blow through the underneath. You could still wash out here and just cut that out, just like this part right here, the little hole. So on your lap weld, and you know you can use this same process as if you was drilling holes and you was doing like a pinch weld or whatever, and do your little rosette welds and stuff. But today we're just gonna lap weld this thing. I'm gonna stack these up so it keeps it level. It's just makes it easier for me. They're close to level. And yeah, there she is. So I'm gonna come back, put you on the arc shop. We're gonna do the same. We're gonna tack this. We're gonna treat this the same way. We're gonna be about a 1/16 over on this, aiming towards like this. Let me get you situated. You're actually gonna be aiming this way. You're gonna be at probably strike the arc right here, and you ain't gotta wash it over. If you aim it towards it like this, about 1/16 back, it'll wash right over on it where you need it. So we're gonna do them real quick. I'll get you under the hood so you can see what we're doing, and we'll burn this together and call this a day. You watch that arc will wash right over. I didn't move the gun at all. It just, I aimed it about 1/16 away from it, pointing towards it, and it just washes right over. All right, there's the tack on the lap weld. Give me a wire brush so I can clean this up just a little bit so you can see it better. Clean this up. So we're gonna do the stitch, 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 stitch. And then we may do down here, let's just do some little short 1/2 inch runs, just drag, straight drags, no looping, no nothing like that. We're just gonna straight drags on these. You can get by with a little bit more on this because it's not gonna blow through the back. You got a backer on it. But you got chances of warping the mess out of this if you don't. So you're better off to take your time with it, especially the thinner it is, just so you don't warp it up, because you about can't get it out, especially when you do this. And then we'll just see if we can bend it out. Let's do a bend test on both of these, see how they do. All right, here we go. Zap, zap, zap. There's our zap, zap, zapper. Not looking too bad. I got a little crooked with you guys trying to stay out of the way of the video where you can see and all that stuff, but it's not built up too bad. I mean, that's pretty good. And I'm gonna come back and just run me a couple little stitches here, just to bzz, bzz, no zapping, and then we'll see if we can bend it and break it and stuff. That's the fun stuff. All right, now for the continuous little stitch. We're gonna aim it towards it just like we are. If we're gonna do the little zap, 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 just keep it pointed towards the sheet metal and roll with it. All right, guys, well, there it is. Just a regular old run it straight down through there. Like I said, I was, way we was doing this one, I'll get back here where ain't no weld. I was about right, about a 1/16 off of it, aiming towards this and just letting it wash up on it. And didn't warp up too bad at all, actually, with the lap. Of course, it's got a good heat sink under it and stuff, so it's doing pretty good. So now let's, we'll clamp it. I know it's going to break probably, but we'll break both of them. And hope this helps. I've had a few guys ask about the welding thick to thin, and this is a lap and a butt joint with 1/4 inch and 22 gauge. So I don't even think I need to break that. Let's see if it'll. Yeah, I'm going to have to clamp it. I can't hold the camera and do all that. So let's get her clamped in and break it. Alright guys, we're going to try to do this. Got some big old pliers here. Well, just let me bend this one up. I hit it with a hammer. Now, now we're going to hold her down here and guys, I'd say that's a success on that one. I mean, if a 22 gauge is gonna fold that much, you know, it ain't the prettiest thing in the world. It'll break. It'll probably break on the sheet metal for it with a weld. Nah, that one ain't going to. Let's try the butt weld. Butt weld may break a little easier. I don't know. Get this out of the way. It's starting to, you can see it right there, starting to tear at the metal. All right, let's do the old butt weld here. The kickstand down. All right. Hold yours. All right, guys, that's pretty good destruction there. So, like I said, this is not structural stuff, but like for floor pans and junk like that, I mean, you can see you can beat the far out of it. And if y'all ain't from the South, beat the far out of it means beat it real bad. Beat it to submission. That's what it's going to take to break it. It just, see, there's still sheet metal on the back side. It's the metal just fatigued and broke, but there's still sheet metal under this. So that's a wiener chicken diner. Let's break it. Yeah. That lap weld right there, that mug is tough as I'll get out. I mean, I beat the far out of this thing. Hammer on it some more. I mean, the metal's just starting to fatigue, but if that was my floor pan in my car, I'd be happy with it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and metal's already fatigueless. Well, this one just ain't wanting to give up the ghost, so we're gonna call that good. Alright guys, hope y'all enjoyed that video right there on welding the super thick to thin. We beat the far out of this thing and it didn't give up the ghost. Sheet metal is still on here. So yeah, I think you guys can use a lot inside cars, restoration on vehicles. I mean, even your lawnmowers, tillers, tractors. I mean, this could be stuff that you could use because, you know, your mowing deck's a little thinner, and if you have some kind of a idler wheel or whatever you call them things on the mowing deck, it gets bent or something. This is where you could use this tip right here. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that stuff. You want to see me drop more stuff and tear up junk and all that stuff. But thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel and stuff like that. And we're gonna have a website coming up pretty soon. I've already got it. It's just not up yet. We got some super rad merch coming out right now, and I'm gonna try to maybe fill the website full of some products that the beginner MIG welder, TIG welders could use that may help you guys along, or little DIY projects that you guys can build yourself, little kits or something. That's just some ideas. Shoot me some comments down below. Let me know what y'all would like to see on there. It might help y'all out. And remember, be kind to one another. Jesus loves you, so do we. God bless. We gone.